Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the LA Soccer Hub Show. My name is Gio Garcia. Today we're talking LA Galaxy. They had interesting tie against was it the Colorado Rapids? Am I having that right? Watching too many games. It was a 1-1 tie. It was interesting, but we're gonna break that down. But here to help me talk about that, we got Johnny Bolin, and we also got Alex Ruiz. How you guys doing?
Doing
Were you
good.
about to call me Rodriguez?
Ruiz. No, not Alex Rodriguez. That's a different
The baseball
superstar.
player.
Yeah. How you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing good, man. I'm pumped up. I'm happy about a tie. I'll take the tie. We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm just pumped up to talk about it.
What'd you do this weekend? Is there anything fun you did this weekend, Johnny?
I worked. I did some homework, and that was it. Full of fun. You know how it is.
Where do you go to school?
I just do online school at the University of Arizona, but it's with sports and society. So
Bear down. So you're a wildcat.
that's right. I'm only a Wildcat because of High School Musical, though, not because of the
Because of High School Musical. That's interesting.
right. Wildcats. Man.
Yeah. How's college going for you, Alex?
Pretty good. Just the homework stuff right now.
Yeah.
I had to give a speech today, so that was I guess kind of.
Is that what y'all dressed up or?
I had to look nice today, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just wear this again for the show.
Yeah,
Might as well make it a tradition now.
Hey, make it a tradition. Got the tie, button down, looking good, looking solid. You can always count on Alex. To dress to impress on this show for sure. Anna in the chat says, "I love High School Musical."
That's right, Anna. We all love High School Musical. Thumbs up to Anna.
Yeah, well, we'll see, Johnny, because I know that came out a long time ago. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously it was an interesting weekend this week. Obviously, football is back. I don't know if you guys watch American football, but that was back. You had the Rams who opened up the season here. I'm excited to check out the SoFi Stadium. I don't know. Have you guys been in any of the preseason games?
Man, I tried to. They're trying to sell tickets for like.
Your volume's a little too low. I think your volume's a little low.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
it.
but like Johnny said, I tried looking for tickets on there. They're pretty expensive, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I'm gonna go, I'm probably gonna go with my family. I don't want to like go with just me, so I'll probably have them come along. But I mean, the stadium looks gorgeous, looks nice. Super Bowl's gonna be held there this year. I definitely want to go check it out, but like I said, it's too much money, bro.
Yeah, no, I was looking at tickets too because I was looking at it and like the nosebleeds were like $100, which makes sense. And I was like, man, if I'm gonna enjoy this game, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it from the nosebleeds. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just wait till the next one to see what actually happens, because I'm just like,
It's $100 too, which is like yeah.
Yeah,
way.
that I know. I'm a park in the neighborhood and walk a couple miles to save, just to save me $100. I mean, because I would just rather spend that money on a ticket. But I understand that everybody got to make their money. But yeah, $100 for a parking ticket, that is very steep. Let me just click on this. Okay, well let's talk about this game because there was a lot going into this game. And we saw Chicharito got the start. I thought that was like the biggest surprise when he started in the lineup because I was expecting him to come off the bench. What were your thoughts once you saw Chicharito in the lineup, Johnny?
It was kind of weird. I think we all thought it was kind of weird. Like we've all been waiting, obviously, but we've gotten to the point where we're comfortable without Chicha. We wanted him to take his time coming back. We're excited to welcome him back, and this is the perfect opportunity to have him come off the bench and then start against Houston on Wednesday. I just thought it was a little weird. I mean, have him come on in the 70th minute. Like I wouldn't even say put Zubac in, but like it's easy to find a sub for him. It's easy to set this up. It was kind of like we were forcing a moment after waiting so long, anyways. But I didn't really mind too much.
Yeah, if we look here, I'm pulling up the lineup here. Obviously, it's Chicharito up top. You had Victor Vasquez, Kevin Cabral, and then you had Leggett and Dos Santos in the midfield. Obviously, in the back, you had Villafana, Williams, Stairs, Koulibaly, and Araujo, and obviously Jonathan Bond in goal. Alex, they finally went with the back five. It wasn't pretty. Maybe there was a lot of things that went to it, but I know you had talked about this last time. What were your thoughts on the lineup?
Yeah, interesting, but it wasn't the right personnel to do this. Instead of legit, Ryan wasn't available. I would have put Ryan in that position since he has played center back before, and defensively he gives a lot more cover. I thought the fullbacks had a hard time getting into the game. Villafania and Araujo both kind of struggled in the first half to get forward, and just the team overall just was playing really sloppily to begin. There was a lot of balls that kind of were mistimed and weren't perfectly put on there, but that's kind of expected, especially with playing a new formation. But they did play the back five. Just I would have changed the personnel a little bit more.
Yeah, and I thought that was the interesting thing is right. Obviously, Ryan, who was it, Nico, and who was the other
Fisher.
one? Fisher. Neil Fisher was the other one missing. So that makes it interesting. But moving forward, this upcoming week, they're going to have excuse me, Wednesday they're going to have everybody. Whether everybody's going to be available, that's going to be a different story. But yeah, me looking into this, I was a little surprised. Grand Sir was not up top, instead of Victor Vasquez. And I know Victor Vasquez, can provide a lot of the offensive power there, and he could play out there. But I just felt like, Grand Sir, with that speed up top, I think it could have made a difference. Especially it's interesting with this type of lineup too, because if you play with the 5-back line, then where does Victor Vasquez fit in? Where does Leggett fit in? Where does Ryan, right? When that's comes up, and I know Greg Vandy today talked about also, having that as a weapon, because we did see them use. They went to a back five against LAFC, and I know he talked about that. But it was a tough game. The Colorado Rapids are not an easy team. They're at the top of the standings for a reason, and they're going to definitely be in the playoffs. But another thing that I found really interesting was the challenges that they had in the first half, and the opportunities that they had in the first half, because you had Legit had a header that he missed, Chicharito had one, and I think who else had another one? Oh, obviously Kevin Corral, but I think it was in the second half. What'd you think of the missed opportunities, Johnny, for the Galaxy in the first half?
I mean, it's just with the Galaxy, it's more of a situation of we need to get more because we're gonna miss these things. It's been happening so much. We're always gonna have missed opportunities, but that's why that we have to dominate possession. That's why we always have to keep the pressure up, and that's something that we've consistently talked about. I was really excited to see the back five. The first thing I thought about was Alex when I saw that, because I thought it was a great idea. And
Yep.
apparently Stirs did pretty good. I'm not going to talk about that. But
What do you mean he got team of the week? He made team of the week.
Doesn't make sense.
I instantly thought of Johnny when I saw. I was like, I know Johnny's happy about this one.
This is embarrassing. But we just need to have more fans, because the thing is the best way to get comfortable in these situations is to keep that pressure up, and that's really all it is. It was a hard team. I'm not really going to take too much about it. Chicha, it was his first game back. Sebastian's been crazy busy, so there's not really a lot to take away from it, but I think that if we just keep the pressure up, it's going to look a lot better for the next couple games.
Yeah, no, I think that's me interesting. And talking about Daniel Stairs, there it is. There it is. There's the image. Hey, look, we got to give him props. And if you guys may not be a fan, but look, he made team of the week. Let's talk about Sega Koulibaly, because he looked a lot better than Sega Koulibaly. Sega Koulibaly was looking what's the word? Questionable. Not as exciting as you wanted to see him there as the center back position. I felt like Daniel Stairs. There's a reason why he made team of the week besides anybody else that was playing center back there. What were your thoughts on Sega Koulibaly, Alex?
Yeah, you hit it right. Definitely disappointing performance. From what I've noticed from Sega, I feel like his awareness just really isn't there yet. As a center back, you need to be aware of the pressure, especially when you're playing out of the back. You need to be aware of who's coming where. You need to be anticipating as well, not only on the defensive side of the ball, but also as you're trying to build back. And Sega just hasn't been able to be consistent at either of those things. Defensively, I think he still needs a lot to work on. He's a bigger guy. I think he should utilize his body a lot more when it comes to trying to win the ball from defenders instead of trying to tackle a lot. And again, it's just not really looking too promising for Sega. I'm still going to give him time to, before I really say, oh, he's a failure. But that time is ticking now, and I really don't see much upside from Sega at the moment. But that all can change in the next week.
Yeah, I also wonder if it was maybe the formation or what it was, but maybe elevation, but he did not have a good game. And I think, I know a lot of people on Twitter were very vocal about him, and it just didn't look good. It didn't look good when you expect him to be lining up with Derek Williams if they go on a back four. What were your thoughts on Sega Koulibaly, Johnny?
I make so many excuses for Sega, and I continue to make excuses for him. And I don't really know what to say, man. I mean, it's just like he has he can be so good in certain situations. We've seen him be such a great player, and then we've seen him be the worst player on the field sometimes. I just don't really know how to make I don't really know how to make my mind out about it. It's just kind of getting frustrating to watch it sometimes. As a center back, when there's key plays in the box, obviously it's like you're the last guy. You're the most important dude. And it's like he makes such basic mistakes. So it's like it's hard. It's hard to see, what the options are. And I'm also frustrated because you know what? Yeah, whatever. Sturz is the guy of the week, but Depu's great. Depu's awesome. If Sega isn't making his mark, if he keeps making these mistakes, put Depew in. I love Depew. Everyone loves Depew. Let's give that guy some more time. And maybe that'll put the pressure on Koulibaly to perform better as well. So I think we just got to see how it goes. The summer to early fall for MLS is always kind of a weird time, and teams and players always get more inconsistent because the international schedules and all that jazz. So I think, we just have to see what happens when the season gets more consistent with Sega. But for right now, I don't really know what to say about the guy.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know. It doesn't look good right now, but in no way am I giving up. I think he just has to do a better job in all aspects because, he got beat a lot of the times. And, like I said, it was just a poor performance when you're expecting so much out of him. Maybe also the fact that Ryan's not available, because Ryan also does a lot of things on the defensive end, and maybe they have gotten accustomed to them. But I mean, I know that just may be an excuse, but like individually, he didn't look good, and it's on both sides, on both teams. I think both teams that played this past weekend are lucky they only gave up one goal.
Yeah,
because there was quite a few opportunities that this could have been 3-1 or 2-1, or you name it. It just both teams weren't able to capitalize. Another player I want to talk about is I want to go a little bit more in depth on Chicharito. Let's talk about Chicharito's performance, because I think the biggest thing was he was I know we hit it on, but like he was able to start, but I was expecting him to come off the bench. Obviously he was ready, but Alex, let's talk about Chicharito. What you thought about his performance, and obviously him getting the start.
Yeah, let me just talk about, Gio, you mentioned surprising to see him start, especially after missing 2 months of recovery. I know he had altitude training for the past week to prepare for this game, but if I was Greg Vanney, I don't understand why I would start him. This game did not have the ideal conditions, really, for a player returning from injury. The pitch looked really dry. It was really inconsistent as well. There were parts of it where it's like dead grass. It was 95 degrees, and then you're in high altitude. I don't understand why you're going to put in your superstar in those conditions to come back. I thought maybe the second half, while everybody else is tired, and he can learn the game a bit, especially since, the players have grown a lot since the last time that he was up playing. Talking about Chicharito's play, yeah, you could see a lot during the game. He was making a lot of runs and definitely looked frustrated when the ball wasn't put at his feet. He had a header earlier, which he missed time, but I'm not surprised being gone for so long. I'm not surprised the timing was off. I think this home game is going to be really important just to see if he becomes a bit more dangerous, because against Colorado, he really didn't get many touches inside of the box. And we all know that's Chicharito's sweet spot.
Yeah, no, and I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It was hot, and all the conditions didn't go in his favor. Johnny, let's talk. Give me your thoughts on Chicharito's performance overall.
I say this all the time, and I'm going to say it again. Alex put it pretty well. If Chicha doesn't get touches, we really can't blame him for too much, because he's the kind of guy where he's going to make magic happen in the box. Last season, 2020, a lot of he was super frustrated, had a lot of problems, but you also have to look at it. A lot of the games that Chicha did play, he wasn't getting the ball. He was barely getting the ball. So give more time to it. When our team is truly complete, I think we're going to see a lot better of a player. And I just think that Yeah, it's his first game back. We really can't, take a lot from that. He was his first game back. He didn't get a lot of touches, and when he did, he looks pretty good. So I was pretty happy to see his performance. Kind of weird that he started, but I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, no, I would just say, you know, I think it would have been better to come off the bench, but look, that's what the game plan that they had. I mean, on top of that, the other point to that was Daehn. He had just not just, but like the last game he played against LASC, he scored two bangers, against them. So he had that momentum as going. I mean, I do want to see the pairing of Daehn and Chicharito because Daehn is such a smart player. Obviously, you most likely going to have to go to a 4-4-2. And doing all those different things. But yeah, I mean, if there's ever, I mean, I know they've gone with the 5-3-2, this formation. So I would like to see the 4-4-2 and how Daehn and Chicharito pair up because I've seen some of the passes that Daehn has given to Kevin Cabral, or he assisted, I know I could see Daehn dropping a lot back and assisting Chicharito, dropping back on the defensive end, to pinch in a little bit more to help out. But we'll have to see if that happens. I mean, it's going to be a big game this Wednesday as well. What is it? 3 games in 7 days, which is, I mean, the MLS is terrible with the scheduling. I don't know what they're doing with the scheduling, but look, this is the way they decide to do things. And I hope with now I think it's going to be 11 games left that they'll be able to obviously Chicharito or anybody else is not able to get injured. Quickly in the chat, El Trafico says, I think Vanny clearly had a game plan for Chicha, which was 60 minutes of match fitness. But he says, I agreed. I think he's referring to what we had to say. But yeah, we'll have to see. I think Wednesday's game is going to be different because no elevation, no heat. It's going to be a night game. You have a lot of different things going on. Let's talk about Kevin Cabral because Kevin Cabral, man. It was another not pretty game for Kevin Cabral on Saturday, and I think when you were looking at some of the opportunities that he had, I think the clear opportunity he had, it was the 1-on-1, and man, I think he just hit it right at the keeper. Alex, what are your thoughts on Kevin Cabral?
Yeah, you can tell he really, I guess, doesn't really have a good finishing. He kind of lacks that. If I was put in that situation, right, I've been in that tons of times in FIFA. You just chip the keeper. It's the easiest thing to do. It's the easiest thing to do. One-on-one with the keeper, outside of the box, just chip the keeper.
You did have to chip the keeper, but
yeah, that's the right move to do that in that situation. Chip the keeper since he's going down to try to get the ball. You don't try to shoot it or finesse the shot. You just try to chip it over the keeper.
Hold on, quickly. Very important question. Do you play on PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
Oh, okay. I'm a PlayStation guy, but I haven't played in years. But go ahead.
Yeah, but in that situation, my tons of training in FIFA, for me, even if I'm out there playing, I know instinct is to press the left button and shoot for the chip. That's the right move to do there. Cabral definitely, I don't think it was expected to be the clinical finisher, but expected to provide goals in situations where he should have. And I think that's been Greg Vanny's thought process when he was thinking about bringing Cabral. Chicharito was supposed to be that finisher, and then now that you have Daehn, that pressure's kind of lifted off of Cabral's shoulders, where he doesn't necessarily have to be the guy to score, since you have 2 great goal scorers over there. But if he can't play well as a supporting player in the build-up play, in the attack, or in the wing, then there needs to be real discussion about him just not being a DP level player anymore. Because my thing with him is, look, if you can play well on the wing, beat your man 1-on-1, and just give a quick pass to Daehn, Chicharito, whoever is in the box. As long as you can do that and rack up assists and rack up chances created, then you're fine. You'll do well. No one's going to complain. But if you can't do that, then there's serious problems.
Yeah, no, I mean, you hit the nail on the head because I mean, it is still his first year. That's the only thing I'll say. But like, look. You got to be able to do better with those one-on-one opportunities. If you're an offensive threat, if you're a real offensive threat, you got to just put them away. There's just no way around that. Jonny, what were your thoughts?
I mean, we know Cabral's a talented player, which is especially why this is extremely, frustrating. But I believe that it's so annoying to say this, but we've given him so much time, but he's gonna be good. He's gonna do great things. After this offseason, I think he's gonna have the same situation Chicha had, where he's gonna kind of figure things out, and the pressure's gonna get to him, but maybe in a good way. And that's just kind of when you see how great players are made, is how are they gonna handle this pressure? How are they gonna handle this negative feedback? But I think that on the Galaxy side of things, if Cabral continues to have these like lackluster games, these bad performances, these mistakes, sub him. And I know that that's frustrating to do with a DP, but it's like I'd rather have someone out there who plays better, who can get assists, that can finish, who's not a DP, than to keep playing a DP that doesn't seem to care when he's stressed.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you talk about subbing. So we saw obviously Samuel Grandsir came in for Kevin Cabral, and I think the biggest thing is, right, it's like it was essentially player for player, but I think also Daehn came in. There was 3 subs. Daehn came in for Chicha, and who else? Al Efra came in for Victor Vasquez. So it was it was like for like. So I mean, I think that makes sense. But look, Kevin Cabral is a DP player. I still give him a little bit more of a longer leash, but that leash starts to get shorter when you're missing those opportunities. They are expected to finish, in the 1v1.